Hi, I'm here at AOL HQ in New York City with Amit Kapur, the co-founder and CEO of Gravity, which was just acquired by AOL. Every time I've talked to you, you have this very sort of big vision in terms of like how personalized the web is going to be. That the sort of like the future is sort of going to be increasingly personalized. I mean, do you how far along that vision do you think we are right now?
I think that we're kind of at the stage where it's about to really take off and explode at scale. So if you think back a little bit of history on the company, when we started it over 4 years ago, my partners and I, we were early guys in social. You know, we were at MySpace when it was in its prime, and we were looking to kind of have a sense for what was going to happen next. And to us, that was the movement towards more personal experiences. And you know, when you're starting a company, you're trying to get ahead of a wave, right? Or like Wayne Gretzky, you skate to where the puck's going to be, not where it is. And so we saw that this was something that we felt was inevitable, that every experience that we go to on the web right now is generic, it's one size fits all, despite the fact that the amount of content available is exploding, you know, at scale, and the screen real estate is shrinking. So to us, it was just inevitable that experiences would leverage intelligence and become more personal. And I think, you know, this year and over the past year, you've started to see a lot of the technologies that are going to make that happen, including ours, really take form at greater and greater scale. So we do personalization. Yahoo's very focused on personalization. Google is focused on, you know, ambient technologies, contextual technologies. Look at Google now. A lot of them are, you know, sort of like, it's semantics. It's in terms of what you call it, but the basic notion is that you should stop having to put in work to find information. Information should understand you and actually find you. And so I think that, again, this is really the year that you're really going to see it start to explode. And for Gravity, the idea of combining with AOL is really going to help us, you know, take that to scale in the market much more aggressively.
And so you were talking about, you know, working with some folks in the not to get too deep into like AOL weeds, but you know, like so like a site like TechCrunch, which is sort of fairly editorially driven, or at least our best we are. And I'm curious, you know, do you think that so you're the technology for personalization? Do you think that writers and editors are going to have to start thinking more about these issues as well?
I think that, so the way that we work, you know, in an optimal scenario is that we actually help writers and editors just do their jobs better. And the way I mean that is that on the one hand, we want writers and editors to write about things that, you know, they think are important for people to hear about. And then our job is to make sure that the right people, the people that will be interested in those stories, actually discover that they find it. So that's on the one hand. We also are creating tools where on the back end we can help inform writers and editors what their audience is interested in, both on your site as well as across the broader web, like what interests are trending, what things are bursting, so that it can actually guide, you know, give editorial advice, help source, you know, stories that are going to be of interest to the audience. So in that sense, I think, you know, our job actually is to help you guys do your job better.
Right. So I know that when I published the story about the acquisition, and this happens anytime I write anything about AOL, immediately there's like 5 people on Twitter like, AOL still exists, and then there's like dial-up jokes, and I'm curious, you know, from your perspective, being a sort of a few weeks into the, you know, into the process, what's been sort of the biggest surprise to you about AOL?
No, that's a really good question, and actually, you know, when we started working with AOL, I think, you know, you probably were the same way, like, we come from the time when AOL was the CDs, you know, that like got us on the internet, and
got us onto MySpace, maybe.
Yeah, exactly, and that was kind of a lot of my perception as well. But I think, you know, the time that we've spent with everybody over the past year, seeing what, you know, Tim Armstrong's doing around here, it's super exciting. Like they've hired incredibly talented, incredibly bright leaders, brought on and made some really smart acquisitions, and I think, you know, he's got a very focused vision about what he wants to do with the company in terms of, you know, building these amazing publishing platforms and media experiences, and, you know, creating really high quality content, investing in the people that actually create that content, and then investing in the technologies that bring that content to life, like what we do. And you know, I was very surprised to see all that, even just walking around this New York office. Like, this isn't what you would expect AOL, if you're an outsider who's not familiar with the company. This is an office you would expect to see like Google or Facebook in, right? And so, and the kind of energy that's here is the same way. So to us, and to me personally, I think it's really exciting to be a part of that, because I think that, you know, this place is on the cusp of, you know, becoming something, you know, very meaningful, very relevant in the space.
Well, I certainly hope you're right.
Yeah.
And
how do you feel about it?
No, I feel. Oh man, don't put me on the spot. No, I completely agree. But no, congratulations again, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.